This is NBK, nothing but Knicks. When Sim passed the assist, you know that it's #1 show that breaks down the game. If you can't play defense, stay out my way. Dribble the ball, come down the lane. 5 seconds on the shot clock, who gon' win us the game? You wanna hear Nick updates and trade rumors? Post-game reviews, this the place you tune in. So tell a friend just to keep the ball moving. Like the page if you feeling the movement. Every game we coming to win. Give us a sub like a player that came off the bench. This is NBK, nothing but Knicks.
Knicks family, what's poppin'? Is your boy. And ladies and gentlemen, disappointed tonight. Very disappointed tonight. The Knicks lose 120-111 to the Detroit Pistons. No Karl Anthony Towns. I don't know if the Knicks just felt like they were going to be able to win, even though they didn't have Karl Anthony Towns because they were playing the Pistons. It seems like that's probably what they felt. They didn't do it. Right out the gate, the Knicks lost wire to wire in this basketball game, ladies and gentlemen. Wire to wire. Bad loss, no defense. Eddie Coffey, correct. Bad loss, no defense. They struggled throughout the entire game. They made some runs. They got the game to within 4, something like that in the third quarter, maybe. But just like that, the Detroit Pistons pushed the lead back up, and the next thing you know, the Knicks are down 18 points. And the Knicks try to make another run. For a second there, in the last 2 minutes, I thought maybe the Knicks were going to have enough of a push, make enough of a run to win the basketball game, but it just wasn't going to happen tonight. And this, ladies and gentlemen, tells you a couple of things. One, there is a lack of depth, I think, on the basketball team, right? Just a lack of depth, especially at the center position. I know we got Jericho Sims. I know we have Precious, who is just coming back. And we got Hukpory, right? But we don't have anyone that can actually score. We don't have another center that can score from that position. Right now, our offense is based on that pick and roll with Brunson and Karl Anthony Towns and being able to score from that position. 3-point shooting, obviously, the roll to the basket. Karl Anthony Towns' ability to post up. You know what I'm saying? Bad loss. I hate to suffer a loss like this, especially during a time, things were going so smooth and so sweet, felt so good. The Knicks and their winning streak to come up short against the Detroit Pistons, a team that came into the game below 500. The Knicks were, 14-8, 6 games above 500. Not saying the Pistons are a slouch, because they've turned into a much better basketball team, but I still expected the Knicks to be able to win this basketball game over the Pistons. Just goes to show you that there's a lot left to this season, and there's still a lot of learning for this basketball team. And there's going to be ups and downs throughout the season. I'm not going to get I'm not mad, crazy, depressed or anything like that over the game. You know what I mean? Because it's a loss. It was going to happen. It's going to happen. It's a loss, but we could have and should have won, though, this basketball game. I don't know how much more I can say about that. Could have and should have won this basketball game, but, look, the Knicks still shot well. They didn't shoot it well from 3. They still shot. They shot 53% from the field, but only 79 shots. 79 shots. That's a tough number. 79. It's a low number, ladies and gentlemen. Well, and of course, you're taking away a number of shots without Karl Anthony Towns out there, which means some other guys got to pick up the scoring slack. Didn't happen tonight. Jalen Brunson tried 31 points, had 20 points in the first quarter, 31 points, 10 assists, or maybe it was first half for Jalen Brunson, whichever it was. 31 points, 10 assists for Jalen Brunson tonight. Mikal Bridges had 20 points. I seen someone in the chat say Mikal Bridges inconsistent shooting. He didn't shoot it well from three, but he shot 47% from the field. 17 shot attempts, 20 points. Jericho Sims, ladies and gentlemen, Jericho Sims started at the center spot, played 6 minutes. He gave you zeros across one assist and one turnover. Other than that, zeros across the rest of the board. My patience, it's been a little while that my patience is growing short with Jericho Sims. I don't know, the activity just isn't there. Hukpory played 15 minutes tonight. He gave you 9 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists. I would like to see more on the rebounding end from Hukpory, but he only played 15 minutes. But he's active. He's an active body. Jericho Sims is not active. And I know Tom Thibodeau is giving him the benefit of the doubt because he's been on this basketball team. So he's trying to give Jericho Sims a chance to claim his spot. He's not claiming it at all. Hukpory had a much better night tonight than Jericho Sims. Precious Achiuwa, 27 minutes tonight. 10 rebounds, 6 points. You know, listen, Precious is going to give you rebounds. He's going to give you some blocks, too. He gave you 1 block tonight, but he'll give you some blocks, too. He's not going to give you it on the point side. So the Knicks are going to have to figure out, how do we score? What's our offense look like when Karl Anthony Towns isn't here? Right? What's that look like? What's it look like when Jalen Brunson isn't here? You know, that's something else that they've got to figure out this season. How do we play without our 2 big guys on the floor? You know, and there are a few things the Knicks got to figure out. They've got to figure out, how do you beat the good teams down the stretch in the clutch? We haven't really seen that. They've got to figure out how to play, how to win games without one of your big guys there. I mean, you know, we beat the Charlotte Hornets, I think it was. I think Cat was out that game. But it was 99-98. And you seen what happened when Cat was there. Knicks demolished them. So we got to figure out how to beat these teams. Or how to beat teams when we don't have one of our 2 guys there, because inevitably they're going to miss time. They're going to miss games. Who's going to step up? OG? Step up? OG's been playing great all season long, but in those situations, he might need to step up and take more shots. Mikal Bridges. I seen somebody in the chat mention Mikal Bridges. Yes, Mikal Bridges got to step up. Right? Got to step up, score the ball. Obviously, Jalen Brunson was going to step up tonight. If Brunson is out, Karl Anthony Towns has got to step up. Deuce, step up. Cameron Payne, another guy who can score the ball a little off the bench, didn't play tonight. So we got to figure out how these guys step up during the absence of one of the stars. I mean, another challenge for this basketball team. I do want to say I love the activity from Precious. I thought Precious brought a lot of activity. We got a chance to see what things will look like, right? When things really get rolling with Precious out there as far as his activity, his rebounding, his defense, you know. So I'm liking that Precious is back. Hopefully, you know, we'll get Mitch back and, you know, we can be at full strength. Again, Precious tonight. Only 2 for 3 from the field, but he had 10 rebounds, So he made up the rebounding that Karl Anthony Towns, couldn't give you because he wasn't there, or some of the rebounding. Josh Hart tonight, 17.6 rebounds. He also got ejected from the game. Josh Hart is the guy that, those things are going to happen. He's the guy. He's the spark. He's the heart and soul of the team, kind of, right? No pun intended. Yeah, the pun is definitely intended. The heart and soul of the team. But I mean, I know it was down the stretch of the game, and the game was out of whack, and the Knicks likely weren't going to win the basketball game, but don't go. Yeah, I don't know. Guess it doesn't matter, right? Guess it doesn't matter. Josh Hart kicked out the game tonight. Still gave you a decent number, 17.6 rebounds, shot 63% from the field, 25% from three, though. Want to hear what you're thinking, what you're feeling. JJ from Brooklyn, what's popping with you, brother? How you feeling?
Yo, Sim, what's good, brother? How you feeling, man? What's going on?
Just feeling like, that's it.
Yeah. That sums it up, I know. That sums it up, man. Listen, you can't leave Malik Beasley. He's a known sniper. And my issue was, if he's going to make them, at least make them, well-contested shots. You're going to say, I'm going to tip my cap to you. But you can't leave a sniper open all game. I mean, these shots were wide open, corner threes, basically the easiest three in the game. And, where's the scouting report? Like, where's the rotations? If it's Ivy, I can live with it, not someone who's a great shooter. But you can't leave a great three-point shooter open all game. Like, where's the perimeter defense?
Yeah, I agree.
And, man.
Yeah, I mean,
and make him put the ball on the floor. He's not much of a creator. Once he could a little bit, but he's not really a creator per se. But I just had such an issue with they're just non-contested shots. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't. Give me something positive from tonight.
Oh man, you got an hour? I don't know because I can't think of one right now.
What about Hukpory? I mean, we've seen Hukpory a little bit. What about Hukpory?
Yeah, he was active. Definitely shown he's at least a lob threat. He showed a little nice move in the post.
Mm-hmm.
He showed it looked pretty decent, honestly. I think he's got a little touch around the rim. I think he's active, man. He's very active. Definitely got the crowd going with that alley-oop. I mean, but I'd rather see him than Jericho than Sims. I mean, yeah. He didn't fall for a couple. I noticed Duran got him kind of late in the fourth, and a couple, he went up for, he kind of fell for, 2 pump fakes, it looked like. So maybe that's one thing I maybe would say maybe he could improve on. Then he drove by him for 2 dunks. But, right. He's active. I like watching him. I like watching.
Yeah, that's the thing that it sounds like Tibbs, maybe some of the coaching staff is concerned with the most is that he's got to learn the NBA defensive game.
Right.
He's got to learn that defensive game, and I think that is probably what's preventing him from getting playing time over Jericho Sims. It's just not understanding the NBA defense yet.
Right.
In some ways, you got to play though, right? You play and you're going to understand it a little bit better. In my opinion,
way, right?
Yeah. Right. In my opinion, though, I still feel like he brings more to the game than Jericho because he's active and Jericho is not active.
Too. Right. No, I mean, again, he's putting the ball on the floor like the other game, and then again tonight he did it and then turned it over. Don't do what you're not out there for. There's no need for you to be, to be creating. That's not your lane.
Right.
I don't want to make it all about Sims. I don't think we lost because of Jericho Sims. You know, like, I mean, yeah, I mean, we lost because, we couldn't stop Cade. He's a bad boy. He's having a great year. His numbers are,
Mm-hmm.
pretty incredible. He's almost averaging a triple double. Man, he's one of hey, and it's a tough loss. Don't get me wrong, but this isn't the Pistons of last year. They're right near the play-in. I'm not saying, we shouldn't have beaten them, or I know we're missing key players. I get that, but that doesn't look like a terrible team. Like, that's not a team you could just wake up and just show up and say we're going to beat.
Oh,
You got some signed
definitely
a
not.
couple good vets, a couple solid vets.
Yeah, yeah,
Harris, Harder. I'm not saying those guys are great, but those type of players you could teach the young guys, the
yeah,
Cades and the Ivies. That team isn't bad.
yeah.
It's frustrating though. Even when we were coming back, it
Mm-hmm.
didn't feel like the other night. It just felt like this is one of those Nick kind of fake comebacks. You know what I'm saying? I was like hopeful, but I was like, I don't know. I'm not feeling like we're gonna actually pull it out. But yeah, I mean, we just got to get healthy. No excuses, right? But we got some guys who were out tonight. No Towns. We lost the rebound by what I think about 9 or 10ish, something like that. And a lot of people say our defense is bad because of Cat. I'm just saying. He didn't play tonight. Just putting that out
Right,
there.
right.
You know.
Let me ask you this.
I'm not saying his defense is great, but that's all I see people saying. Oh, we'll never be a good defense because of Cat.
Mm,
I never thought it was because of him, to be honest. I think it's more the 3-point shooting than the paint. I never really thought it was solely because of him.
yeah.
Some of the guys on the perimeter got to be a little more consistent on that
Right.
end.
Let me ask you this. Ham BRI or Ham Bree in the chat said the Knicks lost to the Pistons, the Celtics lost to the Grizzlies, the Nuggets lost to the Wizards. It was
Yeah,
a
I saw
bad
that.
day for
Wow.
big teams. I mean, do you see it as just being a bad day for big teams, or?
I mean, yeah, I mean, Memphis, I think, has actually been playing pretty good this year, though. But yeah, I mean, losing to Washington, that's wow. I saw that score. I was like, no way. Yeah, I mean, it happens. It happens. Am I frustrated? Yeah, but I'm not gonna cry. It happens. Like
Yeah.
the comments said. The champions from 2 years ago lost to the Wizards.
Right.
And Detroit, like I said, that team is not. I'm not saying they're great, but they're not some joke team. They're really not. I think they're gonna make the play-in. I really
Right.
do.
Right.
So
Yeah.
let's learn
Yeah.
from
I
it.
mean, they're not a joke team. They're a good team. They're a good team.
Yeah, I think so.
Are you in any way maybe a little okay with the loss because after the Knicks play, I forgot they play Toronto next, and then on Wednesday
Toronto, yeah.
we play Atlanta. So maybe it's like,
Yeah,
okay, we took an L, right? Bring us back down to earth.
Yeah.
Now, let's go
Right.
get it.
Yeah, I feel that. Yeah. I mean, would I rather lose tonight and then beat Atlanta in the play-in? I would probably trade 2 losses in a row to beat Atlanta in that play. I kind of want it. I want to beat Trey. I want to try and win that cup.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's the one I definitely want. So if you told me we're gonna get that one in advance, and yeah, it happens, man. What are you gonna do? But there's just some concerns. On the perimeter defense, it's kind of up and down, right? Up and some nights it looks good, and then the next night it'll be shaky, and right. So yeah, just those young teams, those young athletic up and down teams. Those are the
Mhm.
teams we kind of tend to struggle with, But I give them credit. They brought it, man. I thought they played pretty well on defense, and it's a tough loss. But hey, it happens. We'll bounce back, man. We'll be all right.
Yeah, no doubt.
We'll be all right.
We'll bounce back. We'll bounce
Yeah,
back.
yeah.
Definitely
we'll be all
positive of
right.
that. We'll bounce back.
Yeah,
You
we'll
know.
be straight, man. Yeah,
Yeah.
appreciate you, Sam.
Appreciate
Take
you,
it easy,
JJ.
brother.
Always.
Yes, sir. No doubt,
Always.
man. Pleasure,
Peace.
man.
Peace. That was JJ from Brooklyn, ladies and gentlemen. I do want to remind you that December 30th, ladies and gentlemen, the Knicks versus the Wizards in Washington, D.C. We have tickets available right now. Okay. There's a link in the description of this video. And I'm about to put the link in the YouTube chat so that you can get those tickets. It's section 114, right across from the Knicks bench. right across from the Knicks bench, so you can look over, you can see what's going on. It's $130 per ticket. All right, so make sure you get those tickets right now. There'll be a live pregame and postgame podcast. I just pinned the message. I'm sorry, not the message. I just pinned the link to the top of the chat. And, of course, there's a link in the description of the video. You know what I mean? So make sure you go check that out. Tim said, this was bad coaching by Tibbs. We can't make excuses that Cat and Payne didn't play. We should have won this game tonight without them. We should have won this game tonight without Cat and Cameron Payne. But let's not act like, the Pistons are just a super slouch team like JJ just said, and that we don't need those guys on the floor, right? This team is predicated on Karl Anthony Towns. But I dig what you're saying. We still should have won the basketball game. I'm with you 100%. Should have won this basketball game. Do you want to? I mean, you can blame Tibbs if you want to. Cade Cunningham, triple-double tonight. 29 points, 10 rebounds, 15 assists. He was a monster for the Pistons tonight. He's coming into his own, ladies and gentlemen. Malik Beasley, 23 points, 4 rebounds. Tobias Harris. Remember Tobias Harris? I mean, he struggled so much. Towards the end of his time in Philly, he struggled so much. 76ers wanted him out of there. Now he's with the Pistons. 13 points, 9 rebounds for Tobias Harris. Tim Hardaway Jr., remember that guy? 11 points, 3 rebounds. Fitting Tim Hardaway Jr. come back and play against the Knicks tonight. When it was homecoming night, the Knicks lost on homecoming night, ladies and gentlemen, to the Pistons. They lost on homecoming night. All the, mad legends in the building. Mad legends in the building. Knicks took the L. Jalen Duren, 12 points, 3 rebounds tonight. Look, the Pistons got up 83 shots, so not that many more than the Knicks. But the Pistons also shot 50% from the three-point line. They were 18 for 36 from the three-point line. It's going to be hard to beat a team when you allow them to shoot such a high percentage from the three-point line. And the Knicks did not shoot a high percentage from the three-point line tonight. All right, Knicks shot 32% from the three-point line tonight. The Knicks were out-rebounded tonight by the Pistons. 27 assists for the Knicks, 28 for the Pistons. The Knicks I don't want to say only 15 turnovers, but 15 turnovers tonight for the Knicks. The Pistons had 18, but the Knicks didn't always capitalize on them. 53% from the field for the Knicks, 32% from the three-point line for the Knicks. Again, the Pistons, 50% from the three-point line, 51.8% from the field altogether, 84% from the free throw line. The Knicks, 59% from the free throw line. And they missed 11 free throws tonight. Lost the game by 9. They missed 11 free throws. I'm not saying, you make a few of those free throws. When we make that run in the fourth quarter with the last 2 minutes, we get it down to 7. If you had made 4 more of those free throws, that game is only a 3-point game now. Makes a big difference. Got to hit those free throws. Got to hit them. The Knicks won the points in the paint, 48-46. Second chance points, the Knicks 11-9. Fast break points, the Knicks 20-19. The 3-point shooting, ladies and gentlemen, you can point to it. Again, 18 for 36 for the Pistons. The Knicks 11 for 34. That 3-point shooting. So, tough loss for the Knicks tonight. Tough loss. You know what I mean? Tough loss. Look at Sean Richardson. Thibodeau's so bad. Tibbs is bad. I guess Tim agrees with Sean that this was bad coaching by Tibbs. Listen, the Knicks lost, so I can't really argue with you if the Knicks lost the game. Can't argue that much. But the players got to take some responsibility. They got to get it done. They got to play perimeter defense. They got to close the gaps. They got to figure out how to stop a team from being so hot from the three-point line. They got to take some of that, too. You can't just give the wins to the players and the losses to the coach. It's a team effort, the entire team. I know you guys don't want to hear that, but I'm just telling you what it is. You know what I'm saying? Trav B. Ryan in the building. What's popping with you, bro? What's going on with you? Bad loss, such an unnecessary loss. I think you're right. Unnecessary loss for the Knicks tonight. You know what I'm saying? But let's talk about some positive things. Let's talk about some positive things. Precious. It's positive for me. 27 minutes tonight. You know, you see he's rounding into shape. I mean, he's already in shape. You can see where Precious is his impact on the game. Right? His impact on the game. You can see where it's going to come in. Rebounding, we should be a better rebounding team with Precious out there. He should make us a better defensive team as we get, you know, he's another defensive player. You know, every once in a while, he's going to be able to score some buckets. You know? So I think having Precious back is definitely a positive. Playing 27 minutes tonight, grabbing 10 rebounds to make up for missing Karl Anthony Towns, although the Knicks still got out-rebounded tonight, is a positive. Hukpory is a positive. You know what I'm saying? And watching him, you know, begin, you know, at some point in time to earn minutes. Right? Played 15 minutes. Jericho Sims only 6. Deuce had a rough night tonight. Well, I said I'm talking about the positive, though. Those are the two positives for me, really. I mean, think about it. Those are really the two positives. I can't think of anything else, any other reason. You know, those are two positives for me. Some bad things tonight, but those are the two positives. Sean Richardson said, Thibodeau, so bad with adjustments. He got to leave Brunson in all game because he can't mix and match his roster. Okay, this is where I agree with you. In my opinion, Tibbs is not an in-game adjustment coach. I agree with you there. I think Tibbs makes his adjustments game to game. Right? So in the playoffs, you're in the middle of the game. He may not make the adjustment, but he sees it on the video and then makes an adjustment for the next game. Right? That's what so I agree with you. He doesn't make those in-game adjustments. He doesn't do that well. I think that's a downfall of Tom Thibodeau. Not making in-game adjustments. And it's not easy. I can tell you that from a coaching standpoint. Right? I can tell you that from a coaching standpoint. It's not easy, but you have some great minds who are great at doing it. Who see the game probably slower than most. And so it's easy for them to make those type of adjustments. You know, it's definitely not easy. You know what I mean? You've got to have good assistant coaches that can watch certain parts of the game. If you don't have that eye to make those in-game adjustments, you got to have some good assistant coaches that can watch. I'm just watching the defense. I'm just watching rebounding. I'm just watching the offense. I'm just watching certain actions that this guy or that guy is doing. You know what I'm saying? And then be able to say, hey, coach, this is what's happening. And say, this is what we see. So definitely you need that. And I agree. Tibbs is not a good in-game coach. Do I think that means the Knicks can't win a championship with him? I don't think so. I don't think so. You know, that's just my opinion. Do you need to make adjustments in the game? You do. But I think you can still win a title without it. You know, I think you can still win one. We will see in due time, but that is a big knock for me on Tom Thibodeau. My second knock on Tom Thibodeau, if you want me to give you a knock on Tom, my second knock is that he doesn't use zone. Everything is just straight up man to man. It can become very predictable. Teams can figure out how to take advantage of mismatches and all of that stuff. I really do think that zone, especially in today's NBA, with the athletic ability of these players, zone is your friend. You know what I'm saying? Zone is your friend. You know, when Tom Thibodeau doesn't use zone hardly at all. Maybe every once in a while we've seen it. We might see it when full court pressure, but we rarely see zone from Tibbs, and I think that's a mistake. Especially when you have a team that may be a little defensively challenged, right? Zone can help you. Zone can help you cover up for certain players you may have on the floor. Playing a zone can help you to protect the rim. It can confuse teams, especially if you're switching in and out, right? You're in a zone for a couple of minutes. You're in a 2-3 zone. You're in a 1-3-1 zone, and then you go back to man. You keep the team guessing, so they can never just settle in like, okay, this is what they're gonna do defensively. Boom, this is what we're gonna attack this. We're gonna attack that. If you're constantly switching the defenses, even the smartest point guards got to stop to figure out what do we have to do now. And then once they figure it out, you switch it to something else. Or maybe you don't even give them a chance to figure it out. So, yeah, I really do think Tom Thibodeau needs to learn or practice switching his defenses. You know what I mean? D. Coolest said they don't play enough zone. They don't play enough defense to play zone. See, that's why I think this team is smarter than what we've had in the past. So I think they'd be good at defensive rotations, zone rotations. Right? We got a high IQ basketball team. So I think they'd be able to, I think this team would be able to play zone. I think they communicate well. Zone also will set you up, put you in position to run a fast break, right? Because guys are already in position. You know, there's a lot of good things that can happen with a zone. You know, older style coaches like Tibbs, he's an older style coach, you know, kind of believes, gotta play man. Zone is, you know, not good for this, not good for that. I disagree. I think zones can be great. I think, yeah, you learn the base defense of a man. You got to understand that in order to play a zone. You know, so that's the principles. But zones can be great, and they can confuse the basketball team, and you can really create out of a zone as well. You can create all different types of traps and different things that can confuse the basketball team. You know, so yeah, that's one of those things that I think Tom Thibodeau, you know, he lacks there. Rick James says Spoelstra plays a lot of zone, but Tibbs is a stubborn, proud old man. Mavs play zone, though they have a good defense. Yeah, I mean, part of the reason why they have a good defense is because they play zone. So it's not, they don't have a good defense in lieu of them playing zone. They have a good defense because they do play some zone. You know what I'm saying? Play some zone. Kevin said, and nobody is saying play it all game. Let's say you play in a crucial time in the playoff series, it will surprise teams. Exactly. You don't play it all. You don't play it all game because then they get used to it and it's done. You know. You don't play it all game. All right. So yeah. Anyway, folks, man, it is a disappointing night. It's a disappointing loss to Detroit Pistons. Should have been a win. You know, the Knicks got down double digits on several occasions tonight to the Pistons and just could not pull themselves up by the bootstraps. So, you know, they suffer a loss, but I believe they'll come back and beat Toronto, beat Atlanta to advance in the in-season tournament. You know, part of the ups and downs of the NBA. Right, and learning and figuring out your team. The Knicks now 14-9 on the season. Tough loss tonight. Tough loss. Quick reminder before I get out of here, ladies and gentlemen. The Knicks play the Wizards in D.C. on December 30th. They actually play them on December 28th and December 30th. So the entire weekend is going to be filled with Knicks fans everywhere. All right. But NBK will be having a live pregame podcast, live postgame podcast, and, of course, we'll be going to the game. All right. Seats are section 114, right across from the Knicks bench. $130 per ticket. There's a link in the description of the video. There's also one tagged to the top of your YouTube chat. We would love to see you, ladies and gentlemen, on December the 30th. But I'm going to get out of here for the night. Get some rest. It's been a long day. I've been training this morning, basketball game, basketball practice, came home and watched the Knicks game, now doing the show tonight. I'm going to head off, go get some food, go upstairs and relax. Dig what I'm saying? You know what I mean? So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm out. I appreciate your time. Be peaceful. One.
This is NBK, nothing but Knicks. When Sim passed the assist, you know that it's #1 show that breaks down the game. If you can't play defense, stay out my way. Dribble the ball, come down the lane. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Who gon' win us the game? You wanna hear Nick updates and trade rumors? Post-game reviews, this the place you tune in. So tell a friend just to keep the ball moving. Like the page if you feeling the movement. Every game we coming to win. Give us a sub like a player that came off the bench. This is NBK, nothing but Knicks.